Okay, so I need to tell you a few things before we get started. So first off, as always, very glad to see you. Second thing, we have a field trip coming up. So if you still haven't turned in your field trip form, give that to me now, please. Okay? Oh yeah, with the staircase. And so much chocolate. Yeah. Okay, so another thing is that if you cast your eyes towards the agenda over there in the corner, you will see that for about half of the class, hi you guys, for about half the class we're going to be working, where's your chair? Yeah, just take that one. All right, my hand's in the air. Where's yours? In the air. Thank you. I know it's very exciting that the staircase was closed. We might have a few people coming in late. It's okay. We're gonna roll with it. Okay. But I want to make sure that you guys know what's going on right now. Okay. So for about half the class, we're going to talk about your narrative project. And we're going to start learning some of the academic vocabulary that goes along with that. And then when we are finished with that, I'm going to give you about 20 minutes to finish your study guide. That is due when? Wednesday. Okay, so due tomorrow. So hopefully by the end of this class period, you will have all of that done. If you have already finished your study guide, because I know a few kids were, can you put that down, please? A little proactive about it, then you can work on your binders. Okay? Because the binder check is when? Monday? Monday. Okay? We're going to have a binder check for the history and for the ELA, I believe. Okay? So, without further ado, please get out. There's a bunch of papers at the front of your desk right now. I need you to get the one that says pre-writing on it and the one that says elements of a narrative notes. Okay? So go ahead and get those out because we're going to put them in your binder. Sorry. Oh, sorry. In the correct spot.
You guys throw something?
I got a note with the janitor.
Oh, it's caramel.
It's like dark chocolate. Dark chocolate? Like, dark chocolate, you like, you take little bites of it.
Alright, so the first page that you are putting in your binder is the elements of a narrative one. Everybody hold it up, please, so I know that you've got it. Elements of a narrative. You need an extra?
Yeah.
Alright, that is going to be page 24. What page? 24. Alright, put it into your binder. Elements of a narrative notes with red pen. Okay? Page 24. Wait, who needed it? I already gave it.
Oh, this is ELA.
Yep, this is your writing binder. Okay? This is your writing, language arts writing binder. It is page 24, your elements of a writing narrative notes. That's this one, elements of writing. 24. Alright, the other one, the pre-writing and planning worksheet, is obviously page 25 then. And it is your homework for tonight. Okay? So, hopefully you'll have a little bit of time in class to do it if you finish your study guide. But if not, it's not going to be too much work. Probably it'll only take you about 15 minutes or so at home. Okay? And remember, since you have the binder checks coming up, you need to have your name, date, and number in red pen on every single page. Every single page. Okay? If you have just your name and your number written on one, that's not credit. You do not get full credit. Your name, date, and number needs to be on every single page. Is that clear? Yes. Now I've said it so that when I grade your binders and I see that some of them are missing, you can't go, oh, Miss Broderick, but I had the date and I had my number, but I just forgot. I can't hear you. I can't hear you because I already told you you need all three on every paper. Okay? A pre-chewed apple. My dad always used to say A, B, C, R, U, Q. All right, and when you have everything in your binder, go ahead and put a pencil up so I know you're ready to move on. If you want to put it into a sheet protector instead, yeah.
For the minor check, are they also taking writing, or is it just? Because I thought she said it was just minor check.
I can't remember which bits she said she was gonna do. I know it's the my perspectives, but I don't know if it was the writing as well. So I'll have to check with her when she comes back in. She's running a quick errand right now, okay? So, everybody should be done with that then, and I should be on me, because I'm gonna give you a little bit of instruction first. I'm waiting. Okay, so, as I told you guys yesterday, next week I am starting my my solo teaching with you guys, which means that I will be in charge of everything we do in class for a full week. Okay, so that means emailing your parents even. So if you need anything next week, it's all going to go through me first because I have to learn how to run a classroom from the grassroots. Okay, so the thing that we are going to be doing next week is we are going to be Otto. We're on camera. I'll cut that out. I'll edit it out. Okay? You are going to be doing a personal narrative. Okay? You are going to be writing a personal narrative. Okay? Does anybody know what that means before we start talking about it? What does it mean, a personal narrative? Yeah, man.
Is it writing about yourself?
It's writing about yourself? Well, what specifically are you writing about yourself? Yeah.
A milestone.
You are going to be writing with your milestones. What does that mean, though, Ariel? Ding, 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 ding. That's the key word, okay? The key word is going to be story. So the whole focus of the lesson today is going to be making sure you have the vocabulary to write your stories, okay? So you need to know what a few key elements. You guys, you're embarrassing me. We're going to have to start over. No, I'm kidding. I only need a 5-minute clip, okay? So, I'm going to snap. So what I need you to do right now is I need you to get the elements of a narrative notes out, and we're going to watch a quick video. It's a little bit of a boring video, but then we're going to talk about it. Okay? Sound good? All right, my hands in the air. Where's yours? Thank you. I can feel a lot of chaotic energy right now in this room, and it really does need to stop, okay? Because we need to accomplish a lot of stuff today, and I also need to turn in this lesson for credit for my credential. So we need to kind of be on our best behavior, okay? So that doesn't mean you can't be silly and make jokes. I just need you guys to focus, okay? Here you go.
What is the difference between Goldilocks and the Three Bears and a newspaper article on bear attack statistics? Both are about human interaction with bears, but the difference is the first is a made-up story about girl meeting some bears, while the second is reporting on facts about bears. A story has many obvious differences from a statistical report. Goldilocks is an example of narrative writing, which is any kind of writing that tells a story. Usually narrative writing is categorized as fiction, which is based on imaginative events or stories that did not actually happen. The other category of writing is known as nonfiction, which would be writing that is based on real facts. This usually consists of newspapers, essays, reports, and other informative writing. However, some nonfiction can in fact tell a story, which would classify it as narrative writing. In the case of nonfiction, the story must be a true story with real people and events. Autobiographies and biographies are examples of nonfiction that is narrative writing, as they tell the real story of a person's life. There are many specific traits every piece of narrative writing should have. All stories must have characters, also known as the people or subjects of the story. Usually there are also specific types of characters needed in order to create a developed story. For example, each story will often have a protagonist, which is the hero or heroine. This is a central character of the story. Often there is also an antagonist, which is a character who opposes the protagonist. Overall, each story needs characters to push forward or react to the events in the plot. In addition to characters, every story must have a plot or events that occur. Think of your favorite book. What if none of the events in that book happened? Take away the plot and the characters would just be sitting around doing nothing. Would it still be your favorite book? Of course not. It would be the most boring read ever. Every story needs a plot or events that give the character something to react to. Usually the plot consists of 5 components: the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. One of the most important components of a story is the conflict. A conflict is any struggle between opposing forces. Imagine a story where there were no problems. The characters simply live their happy lives with no troubles and nothing difficult to deal with. Would that story interest you? Probably not. Conflict is very important to creating interest in stories. Usually the main conflict is between the protagonist and the antagonist.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there really quickly because mostly I'm pausing it there because we went over this last 2 weeks ago. Okay, we went over the plot maps, and you did it with 3 little pigs, and then you did it with the wolf side of the story. So you guys are familiar with plot, rising action, and such. But someone tell me, what are the 2 types of a narrative? Yeah. Fiction and nonfiction. Okay? Perfect. What are the 2 types of characters that you need to have in your story? Otto. Antagonist and protagonist. And what needs to be driving your characters? Yeah. Conflict. Okay? That's why we watched that video. Mostly because I like the stock images of the old people fighting, but also because it just reviews some of the concepts that you've seen already. Okay? So now we're going to look at some new concepts and some new vocabulary. Okay? So you are getting out a red pen, and you are going to elements of a narrative. Yeah?
Who's that video called?
It's called, what is narrative writing? Definition, type, characteristics, and examples.
Watching us games with no voice, just looking at everything, all the stock images.
Okay, if you got a red pen, hold it up in the air so I can see it. Okay, so my notes are different from yours. So that means that you are going to have to write in the things that I have that you guys do not. Okay, so it's my way of making sure that you guys are actively listening to what's going on. Okay, so for example, your notes do not have this first bullet point. Narrative tells a story, fictional and nonfiction. So that means you have to add it into your notes, I don't care where, in red pen. So add it now. Alright, so, for example, an autobiography is what type of narrative? Non-fiction, okay? Harry Potter is what type of narrative? Fiction, unless you really believe it, in which case, more power to you. What about a poem?
It could be anything.
It could be either one, okay? So, you guys are going to be writing a non-fiction narrative, which means that it has to be true events about your life, okay? Does that mean you cannot be dramatic? No. You can still be dramatic and you can still emphasize certain details, okay? But it has to be a true event, okay? So that means that you are probably going to be writing in first person point of view. You are probably going to be using the word I, okay? Usually in like your article, the weak stuff, you don't use the word I, but here I want you to use the word I, okay? So circle that in your notes. Circle that you are going to be writing in the first person point of view. Okay? Then, here's some stuff that I have that you do not. Characterization is how a writer describes a character and their role in an event. And the way we use it, the academic vocab that we are going to learn today, is direct versus indirect characterization. That is not in your notes, okay? But we have talked about showing and versus telling before, okay? So if I say, he is popular, am I showing or am I telling? Telling, okay? If I say, when he walked into the room, all eyes were on him, what am I doing? Showing, okay? So that's the exact same thing as direct versus indirect characterization. If I tell you it directly, Austin is not paying attention, that is direct characterization. But if I say Austin is distracted by his food and he's doodling in his work and his eyeballs are not on the teacher, that is indirect characterization. Okay? Everything's a learning opportunity. Okay? So, you guys have to write the definitions then for direct and indirect characterization into your notes. Direct in characterization, the writer makes direct statements about a character's personality and tells what the character is like. You can do it on the back if you don't have enough space. Indirect characterization, then, is how the writer reveals information through a character's thoughts, words, actions, and relationships with other characters. Go ahead and write that in now. Yep. Some of you read really fast.
Austin, where's the super too?
Alright, so for example, in your story, if you have a character come into your story, maybe it's an elementary school, and a big kid comes up to a little kid and shakes him like this and goes, "Give me your lunch money!" Is that direct or indirect characterization? What are you learning about that character? Yeah. They're a bully. Did I say they were a bully? No, I showed it, right? That's indirect characterization. If on the sidelines of that story, there's a character going, "Oh man, that kid's such a bully," that is direct characterization, okay? A good story usually has both. It has things that you show, and it has things that you tell, okay? So you should have both in your narrative. Just speed that up a little bit. Okay, so moving on to description, okay? Description is going to describe the impact of an event on different people, okay? So another way to say that is, what are the different perspectives on this event, okay? So if we take the example of the bully on the elementary school campus, okay? What are the other people doing? Are they watching, cowering in a corner, going, "Oh, not that guy"? Are they trembling, all right? Or are they going, "Man, we need to stand up to this guy"? Okay? How are they reacting? What's the impact of the action on those characters? That's what you need to describe in your narrative. how action affects your characters, okay? So here for the purposes of this class, description is perspective, okay? How many perspectives can you get on this event? All right, I'm gonna keep going. So I think my notes and your notes sync up at this point. So for narrative techniques to build action, you can have dialogue, you can have description, and you can have pacing. So an example of building tension with dialogue. Don't take my lunch money, please, don't take my lunch money. That'll build your action, okay? That's dialogue. Description is like I just said, the kids cowering in the corner, that's building action because you feel the tension between those kids and the bully, okay? And the general pacing of your story. So if this action is coming near the end, you know it's like a climactic moment of your story, okay? I think, yeah. Yeah, you may. The other up here. Okay. A few more things about your story, and then we are going to move on from this. Is you have to have precise language in your story, okay? What that means, and I have this in my notes and you don't have it in yours, do not add unnecessary details. Okay? Don't add them. You don't need them. If I'm writing my personal narrative about the time that I spectacularly broke my leg when I was in 5th grade, which is true, I would not probably tell you what I had for lunch that afternoon. It doesn't matter to the story, okay? So everything that you write needs to play a role in your story. So unless I crashed the go-kart that I was riding and broke my leg because I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that day, you do not need to include that information. So be precise with your language, okay? And just like we did with the accordion paragraphs, you're going to use descriptive details and powerful sensory language. What's an example of sensory language? I see you guys are all touching your faces, but what is an example of sensory language? You guys all did it. I graded your papers. What is sensory language? Yeah, Elena. Yeah, see, touch, smell, hear, feel, okay? So if you're telling a story about breaking your leg on riding a go-kart, then you might tell me how the rope felt in your hands or something like that. Or you might tell me how bumpy the street was as you were going down, okay? Those are sensory details. And it's not just me asking for them because I want them, it's me telling you that we need them because I will be grading them, and if I don't see them, you'll be marked down. Elena, that's for you. Okay? Make sure that you vary your transition words and your sentence structure. Okay? So, don't start every single sentence with the character's name. Okay? And make sure you use transition words. You have a nice list of transition words in your binder that you can use. Okay? And finally, your conclusion is going to reflect on how your character is different at the end of the story than they were at the beginning. Okay? I'm not sure that your notes have that, so you need to add it in red pen. Add it in red pen. How is the character changed from the beginning of the story? How have they changed? Okay. I know a few of you are still writing, but I see a lot of you guys are done. So, when you are writing about your own milestone, and you're writing your narrative, you have to choose something that has changed you fundamentally as a person, okay? So, don't just say, one day I went to the supermarket with my friends, it was great. It could be true, but that's not a good narrative because you haven't changed your character, okay? So, if you take the example of me breaking my leg, afterwards, like, I don't take a lot of physical risks anymore. and I have a bum leg that hurts sometimes when I run. Okay, it changed me fundamentally as a person. Okay, so what I want you guys to do right now is brainstorm your events. It has the spot there at the end of your paper. Brainstorm your events, but make sure that they are powerful ones that you can tell dramatically, you can have characters in, okay, and that you changed, okay? Take a minute right now to write down your ideas. If you need to look back to your milestones worksheet, feel free to do that. Okay, clean that up now. All of you did that milestones homework assignment, so all of you should have some sort of idea of something that you can write about. Yes. Alright, so who's got an idea? Who's got an idea of something that they're going to write about? Camille.
When I was little hiking in, I think it was in Roseville, and they shot by a rattlesnake and it passed.
Ooh, how did that change you fundamentally as a person?
I didn't see it, and I was still really little, so I don't understand what's wrong with like a poisonous snake. So I've always been afraid of snakes now, and I'm always a bit more aware of my surroundings.
Perfect. Who was the antagonist in your story?
What is a snake? Well,
Yes,
my
the
grandma
snake.
throwing rocks at it.
Maybe, yeah, I guess the snake. I apologize for my my throwing arm. I have a lot of talents, but throwing is not one of them. Beza.
Going to Ethiopia.
Going to Ethiopia, okay. How did that change you fundamentally as a person?
It brought me like a lot closer to my culture.
Okay, perfect. Who was the protagonist and who was the antagonist?
The antagonist, like I got bullied. Like people call me like, it's like because I'm not from Ethiopia, people call me like white, but like I'm not actually like from.
Okay, and perfect.
And then the protagonist probably be like me.
Probably be you. Yeah, I agree. Oh, that was
That
really
was a
good.
bad
Bella.
one.
Yeah, Hilo.
So it kind of happened like pretty suddenly, like moving to here from Virginia.
Moving here from Virginia. Okay, how'd that change you?
So it kind of made me more like, aware of changes in life, even if it happens suddenly.
Perfect. And the protagonist and antagonist?
Protagonist, probably my mom, because I didn't want to move,
Mm-hmm.
and my antagonist was probably my dad.
Interesting. So in a personal narrative, you are going to be the protagonist. Okay? So your antagonist is probably going to be your parents because they're the ones moving you and you don't want to move. Okay? I have many more options for Candy because I know learning vocab sometimes can be a bit of a drag. So you have whiteboards on your table right now and whiteboard pens and erasers. Go ahead and get that out because we're going to do like a mini quiz game for Candy. I like Candy. All right, my hands in the air. Where's yours? Everybody should have a whiteboard. After every single question, after every single question, you're gonna have to wipe your whiteboard clean. Okay? You're not gonna have anything left over after every question. Okay? up here ready to go. Okay. What are the two types of narratives? I'm the referee, so if I see you first, I'm giving you candy. You gotta put the board up. I think I saw Sydney, what does that say? Nonfiction and fiction. Good. All right, put it down. Erase them fully. Nonfiction and fiction. Good. Here's the next one. Direct or indirect? She was rich. Oh, no, that was direct. I write so slow. The answer is direct. Everyone's fully erased. What about this one? She wore a 10-carat diamond necklace everywhere she went. There we go. Oh, what? Got it.
Why am I writing so slow?
I watched her write indirect really fast.
Oh, how do you write that fast?
Erase it. Erase it. He was having fun at the party.
Oh my God.
I have to be able to I have to be able to read it. If all I see is scribbles, I'm not giving you anything. I need to be able to read what it says. Now, I want you to write your own indirect version of that sentence. He was having fun at the party. Show me that he was having fun at the party. Oh, write a sentence and show me how he was having fun at the party. Indirect. He was laughing is good, man. He was dancing around, that's good. He was laughing and smiling. He had a huge smile and was dancing. Mia, that's good. Yay. Kelvin, what did you say?
8.
Yes. That works. Alright. Everybody's erasing. Eyes up here. Ready for the next one? He couldn't believe it was already 2 a.m. and he didn't want to leave yet. That was me. Indirect.
How do you write that fast?
Indirect. You can use your notes. What do I mean by description? What I mean by description? This is when you had to write in red pen in your notes. Perspective, Nora. No. Perspective. So if it's not in your notes right now, description equals perspective. Put it in now. Only Nora got that one right. I didn't see it. So you're fixing it now. Description is perspectives on your event. Okay, thumbs up. You guys ready? All right. Waiting on the sheet. Ready? How can you build action? The 3 ways to build action.
3 ways. Wait. I don't remember 3. I remember 2.
What does it say in your notes? 3 ways to build action. It's in your notes. There we go. There we go, Rachel.
Oh, you're so stupid.
Ava's got it. That was for Ava. It is, the answer is dialogue, description, and pacing. My hand's in the air, where's yours? Yeah. Thank you. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 more. Ready? Vary your, it's in your notes.
Don't worry about it.
That says nothing. You need to have both. There we go, Mia. Transition words and sentence structure.
Bro, I had it ready.
All right. I think this is the last one. Fully erased.
No, you did not.
Fully erased.
Stop.
Scary. Okay.
Okay.
I'm having so much fun. Okay. What is your milestone?
I can't write that fast.
Here we go. Oh.
I don't have one. I'm born.
Yeah, you know what? I'm throwing one for celiac because I feel that. Going to Ethiopia. Bat mitzvah. There we go. Oh my God. All right. That's it. All right. That was you learning your academic vocab. My hands in the air. Where's yours? That is your academic vocab. That is stuff that we are going to be taking with us when we write our personal narratives next week. Okay? So, you have the rest of class. Eyes on me. Everybody stop moving around. Stop fiddling around with things. You have the rest of class to now finish up your study guide. And then you also have this pre-writing homework. So do you have an extra pre-writing up there? Or can I see yours for a second? I'll see yours. I need to make sure you guys know what the homework is, okay? So, here it is. Perfect. All right. Okay. So, for your milestone, eyes up here. I'm waiting. Okay, it says your event. So you're going to write the title of your event right here. So if it were me, I would say breaking my leg. All right, that's what I would write up there as the title. But here you need at least 2 sentences. At least 2 sentences telling you how it changed you. Okay? 2 sentences at least. Minimum 2 sentences. Okay, Camilo? Don't deal with the erasers right now, deal with this. Okay? And this bit here, gathering evidence. Gathering evidence is you have to list things from your rite of passage experience, but they have to be things that function into the story, okay? So, for example, if it were me, I would write, my brother built a go-kart with scraps from my grandparents' garage. How do you think that factors into my story? Yeah, the go-kart was made by a 10-year-old. Okay? The go-kart was made by a 10-year-old who always wanted to be an engineer, but obviously wasn't at age 10. Okay? So, I crashed on that go-kart. So all of the details you're putting here are gonna be important details to your story. They need to be full sentences. Okay? I will be stamping this tomorrow, so I will see if it is not completely done. Is that clear? All right, you have the rest of class to work on your study guide to finish this. Off you go. Oh, I did write on it. I apologize. Okay, do you have another? Why didn't you just another pacing? Or did you just do you have another pacing? I broke her leg. Yeah, it's probably in there. Whatever.